I'm Immortal Weapon Dan Umthan. Welcome to the Doomcast. The Dragon of Kunlun comes to Netflix. Finally, the immortal Iron Fist immortalized on screen. One of my favorite comic book characters in a TV adaptation, and with a red beard no less, they cast a dude that kind of looks a little bit like me, except with frosted tips and a haircut from 2003. I couldn't be happier. Or could I? Yes, I could be. I'd give it one fist up. It's not bad, but it isn't great. And that's Marvel's biggest problem. Iron Fist is the fourth in a series of Netflix original adaptations of Marvel Comics for an upcoming Defenders Netflix series. Showrunner Scott Buck, who'd previously worked on Dexter and 6 Feet Under, delivers a deliberately paced show. Marvel's Netflix series move slowly. I've enjoyed them, but all of them have taken their time, getting to meaty fight scenes, climactic confrontations, and Iron Fist does a lot of the same. But Marvel set the bar outstandingly high. The best of Marvel's original Netflix shows, Jessica Jones, delivers a climactic change in every single episode the way good comics and good episodic TV are supposed to. There's nothing inherently wrong with Iron Fist, except for the fact that the bulk of the episodes are a little overlong, just like the second season of Daredevil, or not as action-packed as you would expect them to be, kind of like Luke Cage was. And it really should be more action-packed, considering the fact that it's about a guy whose power is super punching stuff into oblivion. This is a consistent gripe that I've had with the Marvel Cinematic Universe in general, but definitely with their Netflix shows, and that's underplaying the sensationalism of superheroes as though people won't buy it. You made a movie with a talking raccoon in a tree in 2014, and it was the biggest thing that year. You can give him a yellow mask and have him dragon super punch people, and you can show the dragon. People will be okay. But again, this isn't a bad show. People are calling this Marvel's first miss, which I think is unfair, because we're forgetting Iron Man 3, Thor Dark World, both of which failed to really live up to the high bar set by their predecessors, and that was their only real crime, and that's the only real crime here. Then there's Ant-Man, which just was incredible, but it didn't sell that well. There's also a pile of people crabbing on the internet about the similarities to Arrow, which, I guess, okay, it's a guy that people thought was dead, and he comes back to take his multinational corporation back. But as far as I'm concerned, that's where the similarities end. Danny Rand isn't Oliver Queen. He's not as composed, focused, or driven as Oliver Queen. That is my main problem with this series. The guy who defeated an undying dragon by removing his heart, the man who spent 15 years in a Buddhist monastery, that focuses his ki into his fist to shatter steel, is kind of a whiny, impulsive baby sometimes. And that's real weird to me. It's good to write a character with an internal struggle, but not one that doesn't really make sense. Then there's the complaint of whitewashing, which is kind of problematic in and of itself. Oh why can't Danny Rand be Asian? It's reasonable to want representation, but are you asking for an Asian character because this is about martial arts? Because that's way more problematic in and of itself. Why aren't we just asking for representation everywhere, except for in places where it would reinforce stereotypes? I feel like I'm white-splaining a little bit here, so it maybe isn't my place to speak, but I feel like Doctor Strange's change to the Ancient One is maybe massively more offensive than not making Danny Rand an Asian dude. Besides, listen, if you want a martial arts show with an Asian male lead set in the Marvel Universe, you watch Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu. I want Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu, and I thought that they were going to introduce him in this show, and they didn't, and that's really where they screwed up, as far as I'm concerned. Despite its problems, Iron Fist nicely ties together the other 4 series. It fleshes out the character of Madame Gao really nicely, shows her purpose, and establishes, hopefully, a very solid base for what will be, I'm hoping, a Drew Goddard-helmed Defenders series.